They can be tough.
That's not the word you were going to use, was it?
No, that's not.
You know, Clint.
Jim, good morning.
Good morning, buddy. A little chilly.
Not too bad.
You're braver than me.
Yeah.
We're talking landing gear.
Landing gear? Okay.
What do you know
What are we
about?
talking about? They can be tough.
That's not the word you were going to use, was it?
No, that's not the word I was going to use.
What the man?
So, basically, landing gear 101. When they're brand new, these things are beautiful. They're easy. You can sit there, do it one hand, never spin. However, in many cases over the years, you get the ones that you drop a lung trying to crank it.
Yeah.
Why do they get to that point?
Grease buildup?
Could be grease buildup. Nowadays, I think they try to use synthetic grease, but
Okay.
if it's real grease, it can get pretty gluey.
Pretty tough in the wintertime.
Yeah.
What about guys doing their test tug with the legs down?
If you
And-
hook up to a trailer and you drag that thing forward,
Yeah.
we talked about this the other day. Number one, it damages pneumatic fifth wheels.
Absolutely.
Releases them.
Yep.
But if there's friction or there's contact between the landing gear and the pavement, and you drag the trailer forward,
Yeah.
you're now torquing the landing gear.
Yeah, a test tug isn't 6 feet away from the wall.
It's just a little tug to make sure you got a couple between the fifth wheel and the kingpin on the trailer.
Right.
Pulling that thing forward and dragging that landing gear, you're torquing the landing gear.
Yeah.
It's under
Bend the
stress.
legs.
It's under stress.
Yeah.
And it may not go back until you push back on the trailer a little bit, or you might make it permanent, and now it's tweaked.
Yeah.
And now that thing's always going to be a bear
Yeah.
to turn.
Now
You
just
also
for-
got the gearing inside,
Right.
which in this case, I think the gear is on the back side of this.
Right.
But there's actually quite a few gears in there.
Yeah.
And those gears get bound up, and the teeth get bent,
Right.
and so many other things that factor into why we have so much trouble in some cases
Cranking the landing
cranking
gear.
landing gear.
Yeah.
You ever want to know what one of those looks like in the inside?
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Let's go check it out.
We're back here. We got
Okay.
a cutout here, and we could look at this a little bit better in more detail, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. So, what do we got?
So did you know that each set of legs has 8 gears in it?
I did not know that.
There are 8 gears in each set
Okay.
of landing gear or legs. Working together, you get 2 speeds.
Okay.
You get a fast or slow, or how do you want to say it?
High,
High or low.
high or low?
So if you've got a loaded trailer, always use low gear. If you're going to use, if you've got an empty trailer and it's moving pretty easy, you can use the high gear.
Okay.
Okay.
And how would you go about doing that? Going from low to
So
high?
going from low to high,
Yep.
you're going to take the handle and you're going to slide the lever. It's normally it's going to be in low gear.
Okay.
Whenever you're cranking the legs.
Okay.
But if you want to go to high gear, so it's easier with a loaded trailer,
You
pull
it
the
out.
handle out.
And then
Okay.
you could see the gearing in here changing.
Yep.
Which I'm going to show a close-up of this right now. And you want to go back in real quick and back out. Okay. And now try crank it.
And then when you crank it, it cranks really easy,
Okay.
but it takes forever to get the legs up.
As you can see, it's not moving very fast.
Now if I go into low gear,
You can see that change in there.
yep,
Now it's on the big.
and then the legs move really easy.
Yep. But then we
So-
also got a cutout here.
Right.
So we got gearing right in here.
You've got 2 gears in here that operate this leg, and on the other side of the trailer, you're going to have 2 more gears that will operate that leg
The other leg.
simultaneously, so they're going down together.
And they're connected by a shaft, which
Runs
this would
all
be
the
the
way
shaft
across.
right here.
Yes.
You would have the shaft start right here, get bolted into this, straight to the other side.
Straight
of
to
the
the
trailer.
other side.
Okay. And you want to operate that again, and we'll take a look at the inside of the gearing here.
Yep. That's high gear.
Okay.
Okay. That's low gear on the inside.
Yeah, it moves very, very slowly. And then what's nice is that you have a cutout on the back.
So you can see.
Right, and you could see the inside of what's actually connected to the landing gear itself.
The pad? Yeah.
Yeah. So as heavy as this is, and as durable as it seems, when you got 45,000 pounds of actual cargo in the trailer itself.
Right.
And you pull out of from underneath the trailer with the airbags filled, landing gear too many inches from actually touching the ground, and you don't dump your airbags and you just pull out,
And then it slams down on the ground.
that's going to put a lot of torque and friction on these gears.
Absolutely. You know, it's going to start bending the shaft in there. It's going to start breaking the teeth off the gear.
Yeah.
You may be cranking away, and then you hit a spot where, you know, you crank, but then nothing happens.
Right.
You know, it could be, you know, busted teeth inside there.
Right. So, in addition to that, you're doing a number on the pavement.
Yep.
Okay, cement could obviously take it a little bit better, but asphalt, especially on a hot
day.
summer day, what's going to happen to that asphalt?
It's going to sink right into the
It's
asphalt.
going to sink, or it's going to leave a nice indentation in the asphalt when you drop that loaded trailer. So what are some of the key takeaways that we should do as drivers to keep from damaging something that seems so durable but yet is actually kind of fragile?
Well, number one, I would say you don't want to, don't be dragging a trailer with the landing gear down.
So don't drag them.
You know, look at the terrain where you're hooking up. If you back underneath the trailer and if the pads are, you know, off the ground, if you're going to climb a hill, a slight incline, those pads are going to drag.
Right.
You know, the other thing is make sure that you know, you use high gear or low gear depending on what you're trying to accomplish. You know, if it's going to move easy, use the high gear or low gear.
Right.
If it's going to be a bear, then you want to use the high gear.
Okay.
So just make sure you're doing, you know, you've got the right gear when you're cranking the legs.
Right.
You're not going to blow out a shoulder that way either. You're not
Right.
going to wrench your back that way either.
What about air suspension? Dropping out.
When you're dropping out,
Let's go all the way to the ground.
yeah, take it to the ground, let your airbags out.
You know,
take
we
it to the
kind of,
ground.
I mean, me personally, I like to leave maybe, depending on the type of tractor. If it's a Kenworth, I go all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
If it's a Mack product, they sit a little bit higher. I leave about an inch, maybe almost 2 inches. However, before I pull out, I dump the air suspension,
right,
and the trailer
Let
just
it-
gently
let it
comes
set
down,
on the ground.
and now the landing pad, the sand pad, is actually touching the
And you know,
pavement.
the next guy that backs underneath that trailer,
He doesn't have to crank.
he doesn't have to worry about the binding on the ground when he gets
Exactly,
underneath it.
because they'll lift it right up,
Yep.
no problem.
Yep.
So you got to be a little gentle with that. Use the air suspension. Don't tug.
Yep.
Don't pull. Don't torque them.
Exactly.
Also, if you're doing any type of P&D, pickup and delivery, or TDP work, as we call it here at UPS, make sure your landing gear all the way up.
When you're leaving.
Because as silly as it sounds, I've been to, in the past, a customer's dock that's on an incline.
Yeah.
And as you're going over and down into the incline, that seesaw effect,
Yep.
if your landing gear are too far down, now you catch the pavement at the customer's driveway, and you'll hear that horrible,
And it
and you
will
drag it.
bend the legs.
and now you just torque the legs.
Yep.
So there's some thinking involved.
Absolutely.
Take care of them, and they'll take care of not just you, but you're actually doing that for everyone else that's going to pull the trailer.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
All right. Be safe.